In the heart of Makkah, nestled among mighty mountains and endless sands, lived a man whose courage and loyalty would forever echo through history. He was strong, fearless, and noble. He was not just the uncle of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, but also his brother through nursing. This man was none other than Hamza ibn Abdul-Muttalib, known as the Lion of Allah and the Lion of his Messenger. Hamza was born just 2 years before the Prophet, peace be upon him. From his youth, he was known for his incredible strength, his skill in hunting, and his love for adventure. He was a tall, powerful man, a master archer, and a fearless horseman. In the vast deserts of Arabia, he roamed as a hunter, striking down lions with his bow of feet that earned him the title the Lion of the Desert. But his character was more than just physical prowess. It was a blend of strength and generosity. He was a protector of his people, admired for his bravery, and respected even by his enemies. For years, Hamza lived by the customs of his tribe, the Quraysh, but one day, everything changed. At the Kaaba, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was publicly insulted and humiliated by Abu Jahl, one of the staunchest enemies of Islam. News of this outrage reached Hamza as he was returning from a hunting trip, his bow still in hand. Filled with a righteous fury, Hamza stormed to the Kaaba. He confronted Abu Jahl, struck him with his bow, and declared with a voice that thundered through the courtyard, "Do you insult him while I am of his religion? Strike me back if you can." In that powerful moment, he testified, "There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his messenger." With that declaration, the Muslims gained a protector whose courage would shield them from the oppression of the Quraysh. His conversion was a monumental turning point, bringing strength and dignity to Islam in its vulnerable early days. From that day forward, Hamza dedicated his entire being to Islam. His sword was never raised for pride or vengeance, but always in the defense of truth and justice. His presence became a beacon of hope for the believers. In the Battle of Badr, the first great confrontation between the Muslims and the forces of Quraysh, Hamza stood as a fearless warrior. He distinguished himself by wearing an ostrich feather on his chest, a sign so that everyone on the battlefield would recognize him. With every powerful strike of his sword, fear rippled through the enemy ranks. His bravery was unmatched, and his unwavering presence on the front lines inspired the believers to stand firm against overwhelming odds. He, along with Ali ibn Abi Talib and Ubaidah ibn al-Harith, led the charge in the opening duel, setting the tone for a victory that would change the course of history. But the greatest and most poignant chapter of his story was written at the Battle of Uhud. Once again, Hamza fought with the same indomitable courage, cutting through the enemy lines like a lion among sheep. He was a whirlwind of righteous fury, defending the Prophet and the message of Islam. Yet, in the chaos of battle, a skilled spear thrower named Washi, hired specifically for this task, lay in wait. Hidden behind a rock, Washi had one mission: to kill Hamza. With one precise and deadly throw, his spear found its mark. It pierced Hamza, and the Lion of Allah fell to the ground, a martyr on the battlefield. The tragedy did not end there. The Quraysh, filled with a deep-seated hatred, did not just defeat him. They desecrated his body in a brutal act of vengeance that brought profound sorrow to the Muslim community. When the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, found his beloved uncle's body, his heart was shattered. With tears streaming down his face, he looked upon the fallen hero and said, "Never have I been afflicted with a loss as great as this. No tragedy has ever been greater to me than the loss of Hamza." The sight was so grievous that it moved the Prophet to a sorrow deeper than any he had felt before. From that day forward, Hamza was honored with the title Sayyid al-Shuhada, the Master of the Martyrs. He was the fearless uncle, the valiant protector of the Prophet, and the warrior whose heart beat only for Allah. Hamza's life teaches us a timeless lesson. True bravery is not found in physical strength alone, but in standing firm for what is right, even when facing the ultimate sacrifice. His martyrdom was not an end, but a beginning. It became a shining light, a symbol of unwavering faith that would guide generations of believers for all time to come. And so, the story of Hamza ibn Abdul-Muttalib lives on: the hunter who became a hero, the warrior who became a martyr, the uncle who became the lion of Allah and his messenger. His life is a powerful reminder that courage, faith, and sacrifice can transform an ordinary man into an extraordinary legend, and a devoted believer into an eternal symbol of honor and devotion. His legacy is etched not just in the pages of history, but in the hearts of all who hear his story. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the life of one of Islam's greatest heroes. If this story inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that brings history to life. We'll see you in the next video.